All right, welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 401, season 9. Jonathan Birdsong, Brandon Reef, JB, how are you?
Man, I'm doing just fine, man. Springtime is here in the Circle City. You know, I'm happy about that. Warm weather, man. That's what we're gonna focus on, man. Can't go back to none of that snow. Can't go back to none of that sleet. But no, man, doing pretty well, man. For some guys, I think we both of us doing pretty well, man. For some guys who probably got a lot of chop about basketball, man. On the college side, man, because you know what I'm saying, we kind of passed, you know, the chip and whatnot. But like, man, we've been to events with our homies over to the Game Time podcast. We got to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I was at the HBCU All-Star game this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? Our brackets, Brendan got broke. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We got to talk about that and we got a special guest tonight, man. Tell the folks in Crossroads Sports Land who we got on tonight.
Yeah, friend of the program, reoccurring guest, Purdue men's basketball assistant coach, and also 2026 Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, Brandon Brantley, will be joining us here in about 27 minutes. So we'll catch up with him just about talk about the Purdue season this year, kind of talk about that great senior class that we had there at Purdue. Thoughts on the season whole, the big run they had through the Big Ten tournament and such. Early thoughts for this next coming year, and a little bit about the Indiana, his inductee that he got, you know, with the Indiana Basketball Fans. So we'll talk a little about that, and then we have to talk about the Hammond Bears. So, you know, a little bit of that and more.
You don't have to.
Just a little precursor for him. John, first, I guess before we go, let's go ahead and hit up on the HBCU All-Star game that you hit up on this.
So man, we Crossroads Sports got invited, you know what I'm saying, media credential to the HBCU All-Star game this past weekend, man. It was in a venue that, you know what I'm saying, me and Brandon Reef have always kind of been accustomed to, man. The Horizon League tournament, you know what I'm saying, is held there in the Fort. I don't want to mess up the Cortiva Cortiva Center, man. Used to be the Pepsi for you 90s folks. Used to be the Pepsi Coliseum, right? But man. So this is a culmination of all their all-star talent from their teams, man. A showcasing, man. Which, you know what I'm saying, I know a lot of these guys do not have any more eligibility left, man. So this is kind of their last time to, you know what I'm saying, that they're gonna play collegiate basketball anyway, with any significance, man. Different level of basketball, Brandon. Like, teams they trying to win, man. Both sides trying to win. For anybody who didn't make it, there was a nice crowd there of folks, man, as well. I would also say, man, there was a producer on the great, you know what I'm saying, on the sideline, man. He was, but you know what I'm saying, this is some of the emphasis they kind of put. So a lot of emphasis on some of the show part of the game for sure. But like, man, a lot of guys out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the last good college game out there, and I know there were some scouts, and I saw them. I know there's some scouts in attendance and whatnot. But nah, man. I got to funny story, man. I didn't take no picture, man. We sometimes with the brotherhood, when the brotherhood meets another, a fandom, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to take no pictures, man. So I got to shake Nolan Smith's hand. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I guess, man.
Brotherhood.
I don't know, man. It's brotherhood. Kind of like shaking Shinatra's hand, man. You know, I don't know, for him or me, I don't know, man. But no, seriously, man. It was pretty cool, man. I just told him welcome to Indianapolis, man. It's pretty cordial. So like next time it might happen, the HBCU All-Star game might happen in your area. Definitely check them out, man, for sure. You will not be disappointed if you love college basketball, and we do.
Okay. Let's talk Final Four, John. We saw kind of a Saturday night, the two games. UConn and Illinois, and then really, you know, Michigan and Arizona with the route that Michigan had. And then the championship game, John, UConn mudding it up, mudding that game up and having to slow it down and to their pace, which they were able to do. I thought it was a really good game between both teams. The officiating wasn't the greatest, but overall it was a good game, but the officiating had a lot of questionable spots.
A lot of foul calls on the positive side for Michigan.
Block party, JB would say.
I mean, they're technically in the front court. They're taking the bigger team. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't necessarily say, I wouldn't necessarily say there was a free throw disparity. That's for damn sure. You know what I'm saying? I think Michigan shot at least 28. There were 28 attempts. I can't remember how many they hit. But like, nah, man, at least 20-some attempts. And I think UConn was in single digits. So you tell me Michigan didn't foul? You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I'm saying? So with some of those guards. I thought UConn maybe kind of, I'll say this, they kind of chased threes. You know what I'm saying? Even coach kind of said after the game, he said, was that a good shot? You know what I'm saying? Kind of rush or whatnot. Hurley said that after the game. I know, you know what I'm saying, guy, I'm kind of high on Braden Mullen. Didn't necessarily have his best game statistically. But again, man, you talking about, you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not going to say freshman years or anything like that, man. But, you know what I'm saying, freshman, and again, you already hit, how many one-shot moments do you need? Your resume. You know what I'm saying? So, he did, again, statistically, didn't necessarily have a great, he's still in it with double-digit points. You see, y'all can see that he's a crasher. He offensive rebounds pretty well. You see the all-around game. You see where I'm kind of going with this kid. But like, nah, man, the UConn doesn't necessarily have to hold their head down for anything. I do not like some of the Brandon as it pertains to the Michigan Wolverines. When say mercenary, I heard a lot of guys say free agency, and again, that kind of takes away from the coaching that, you know what I'm saying, Dusty May can kind of put together, man. So that's this kind of like sour grapes, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Dusty May kind of put together. A lot of those guys they kind of transferred over, nobody believed in. Like North Carolina fired their coach after this point guard over here who was over there. Like, you see what I'm saying? We didn't know who Yaxel Luxembourg. Nobody knew who this kid was, man. He had evidently had some poor SAT tests or something, man. He ended up at a, you know what I'm saying, his mom and pop JUCO or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna disrespect the school he kind of came from, but again, man, don't disrespect what Michigan kind of pulled together. I know there's some other names. I don't want to forget everybody on that team, but like, yeah, maybe not as like you got 2 years of sample size with the Fab Five, or 3 years sample size with the Fab Five. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You got more sample size with some of the other Michigan runs, but like, you got your champion. They got their championship, and everybody else with the mid-major all-stars, we would have respected it more. No, we would. You know what I'm saying? It's just been another feather in the cap. So like, nah, man. Hell to the victors, Wolverines, man. You know what I'm saying? The field, they got to do better. That's how I would assess it. Don't.
Big Ten gets their championship. Big Ten gets their title, right?
But they had 8 teams going in, Brandon. They better, man.
Women Big Ten won as well.
Technically, you want to call UCLA? Yes, we do. We're calling UCLA.
And the notes came out today that the Big Ten has pockets $69.4 million in NCAA tournament revenue, $56 million for the SEC. Top two. I think Purdue's portion, I think 5 or 6 mil, I think is what I read.
Well, we're not going to ask Brandon about that part.
No, absolutely not. What I do want to ask you though, John, report yesterday, the NCAA, and I kind of like this. NCAA is exploring a significant change to the eligibility rules. 5 full years from the time of the person's 19th birthday or their high school graduation. No waiver requests, no red shirts, no exceptions will be permitted except a small group of outliers of maternity leave, military service, or religious missions.
Yeah, we're going to have to take that red shirt. We'll have to put that back in there, man. I think that's kind of important, crucial to college basketball. And then I get it that people are probably, if you put that back in there, they might find a way to abuse even that. But I think the red shirt is important. I think that red shirt, I don't have a problem with the age limit. I don't have a problem with, hey, man, I declare for the NFL draft. I declare for the NBA draft. I'm not coming back. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with that. I also don't have a problem with semi-professional, whatever you could call European, whatever level it was. That's the point. Whatever level. If it's a comparable level that they're still not learning, then they can't come over. Where it's professional, that's like, you know what I'm saying? And they know, they can kind of tell, you know what I'm saying, which level. But like I'm all for those things, but red shirt, like a lot of coaches use red shirt to coach and develop their players that they kind of want to get more a little burn out of. We get them stronger. So I don't know, man. I don't like that. I don't like that part.
Okay. I do kind of like the red shirt's the only one for me. Everything else I'm okay with. I'm going to ask Coach B about it because I'm curious on his thoughts. I mean, Matt Painter's answered about it in a press conference recently, so
Okay.
I feel it's wide open to be able to ask those type of things. Transfer portal opened on Tuesday, John. I think I saw a record number of people, almost 2K, 2,000. Was it 2,000 athletes?
Will these dudes call us first? They need to call us first. Like, man, Fiddly Bizjack left Butler. Where are you going? Floyd Badunga. If that dude really, if he wants $5 million, man, whatever college
he wants $5 million.
You better get that from the Brooklyn Nets. You better get that from the Washington Wizards and get out of my office. That's not gonna happen. You see whatever happened. I'm not talking about shit like that, but say no, they've made it free agency, so now I gotta talk like it's free agency, man. I watched Floyd Badunga the last 2 seasons, man. I love it. He's better with a point guard that's gonna get him the ball. That's the issue. So if I'm gonna pay $5 million for this power forward, but I still got to get a $2 million, maybe $3 million point guard, dude, you better go to the Washington Wizards. You better get out of my face, Floyd Badunga. Finley Bizak, it's not gonna get. Is it gonna get better for him outside of Butler? You saw him, Brantley. The homie, respectfully, when he came on the show, Kellen Dunman said, man, his team could outshoot that team. He was kind of, when you asked him, he was kind of saying, man, this team is not necessarily a good shooting team. Right. And I don't know. There's some names out here in this portal, man. You know what I'm saying? Kind of make your eyebrow raise. I know Butler took they brought from Ole Miss, and it looks like it's a playing time thing.
Did you hear from DeVries what he said this past week?
What could he say, man? He better. Tell me what he said, Brandon. It's probably going to annoy me.
He said, it was a great year. It was a great year. It was a learning year. We did what was most important, and that was build a culture. And then that's where it stopped me. You build a culture. You got Trent Sisley. That's the only guy returning.
Yeah, the other homie.
Culture. People got to stay. You didn't build a culture. You're starting all over again.
He got some too. He got some incoming freshmen, man. But it was kind of the one kid. Yeah, I don't know, man. They need a jump start. They need some power. They need some jumper cables down there, man. I don't know, man.
I think the biggest head scratcher, Michael Malone, named head coach in North Carolina. John, I sent that to you, and you're like, "Oh my!"
I'm coming to join you, honey. I was like, they went down the list. They must have been about on the backside of it too, man. and Mike Malone was the only one in the studio. Like that, Brandon.
Coach,
he's coached. He said no. He kind of coached around Providence and around. He wasn't the head coach. Kind of coached around, Virginia. He's been around the college programs, man. And I'm not saying he can't coach basketball, but they got, unless UNC goes and buy him a Jokic, you know what I'm saying, or something special.
Is there a younger Jokic brother that's out there?
A younger Serbian. Maybe. But man, he's going to, these college coaches, hey, man, for real, all jokes aside, these professional coaches have to understand that there's a different dedication when you kind of come over in football and especially in basketball. Chris Mullen, unfortunately found out at St. John's right now in real time. Penny Hardaway, we love him, finding out in real time. Jerry Stackhouse found out in real time that, motivating guys, even with your tape or even with your credentials, I don't want to mention anybody else, man. It's kind of pay anybody failure. There's plenty of other dudes that didn't play, college coaches that, or whatever. But college basketball is not professional basketball, and you have to put a different time and attention to it, for sure.
Yeah, I was shocked to see, but obviously, Tommy Lloyd was their number one guy. He had the feel, and
he said no.
Listen, Carolina. Listen, me and John, we're part of the brotherhood. So I ain't letting the Carolina faithful go away on this. This is how bad your program is. Y'all the Iowa coach doesn't even want to go. He wants to stay in Iowa in the cornfields. That's how bad it is.
Got them free Caitlin Clark tickets, and when they come to the Fever, they slid them on. They slid them on.
When you say no to Carolina and you stay in Iowa,
it's the new day.
A hard day. You got to look in that mirror down there in Chapel Hill.
It hopefully it works out for both programs, football and basketball in Chapel Hill, man. We get ready to see Bill Belichick year 2 got.
Oh,
and
my God,
hopefully
I forgot about him being down there for football. Oh,
I did.
I know you didn't.
Mike Malone got a lot of East Coast roots, man. If you hold on, Brandon, if you had told me he had got a Big East school or maybe an East ACC school that's heavy like on that side, I would think it's probably gonna work out, man. I mean, I get it, North Carolina is technically East, but like, man, his accent is real heavy, like New Jersey, New York, man. Like you like the homie when we were arguing said, Coach Ramon said, you gotta win the living room. And that's I think that might be a challenge for Mike Malone.
It might have been Nick Nolte as well. Win that living room. Blue Chips, I think, was win the living room or yeah. So cool. Well, we don't want to leave our guest. We're gonna get him on a little bit early. He's got plenty of things to do.
Money is time.
Money is time.
Yes.
Friend of the program. Not only is he Purdue's men's basketball assistant coach and assistant coach, Big Ten coach of the year, I think a year or two ago, but now also Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2026 Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Brandon Brantley. What's up, B?
Man, you guys naming off these awards, I think I finally paid off the right people.
No way, Jose.
How are you, Brandon? How's things been, buddy? You been good?
Right.
I'm good, man. It's finally slowed down a little bit after, man, that season is a marathon. So it's like once it gets started, man, it goes, and you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Thoughts, obviously you've played over the last couple of years, you've played both teams that were in the national championship with UConn and Michigan now. Thoughts on the championship game, man? Was it kind of what you expected to see between these two teams there? I mean, I told John I thought UConn was going to have to mud it up for them to be able to have their chance to get a chance to win. What was your thoughts on that UConn Michigan game?
If it wasn't for I guess the casual fan, because I watched it, I said, man, this is a chess match. And I thought UConn did a great job of controlling the pace in the first half. Obviously, what kind of hurt those guys was I think 3 starters got in foul trouble. You got to take Terrence Reed out. You really don't have an experienced big coming off that bench. And that I think he came out with about 2 minutes left in the first half. And I was like, boy, they really got to find a way to hang on. And that 2 minutes probably felt like an eternity to UConn, because he played so well in the tournament. He was just a big matchup problem for everybody. And all of a sudden he goes out. And that was huge, for Michigan's advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at your guys' game, Arizona, obviously Arizona's pedigree that they had all year long, kind of how they're run. Great first half, with you guys in Arizona there. Obviously everybody kind of knows how it finishes and stuff, but I just thought with me and John was thinking, with the size advantage that they had. Kind of just talk a little bit about that Arizona game. You guys had a great game plan coming into it. Love that. And it just seemed like it was kind of wearing you down kind of throughout the game there as it progressed in the second half.
When the tournament started, I thought, I really thought they were the best team in the field. So obviously going up against those guys was, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We had a great game plan, contrast of 2 styles. They want to pound the ball into the paint. Didn't really take a lot of threes where, we want to get threes up. I had a formidable duo up front with Trey Kaufman, Oscar Clough. Once again, fouls rear their ugly head. Trey Kaufman gets in foul trouble. And that kind of changes the game for us. We were able to go a little bit bigger because we brought Daniel Jacobson in. But just the ebb and flow of our offense was a little off because, we haven't played with that lineup all season. And you have to go into that game with some size because of what Arizona presents with their front line. And so no shame, no hanging our heads. Like, we battled those guys, really good
Yeah.
team. I don't think they really showed who they were in that semifinal game, but man, against us, man, they were tough, good as
Yeah, absolutely.
advertised.
And you guys were tough as well, Brandon, all season long. Your guys, the run you guys made in that Big Ten tournament up there in Chicago, and, I kept hearing it from everybody here around me. Oh, they're going to be, all the Purdue haters that I have that are, that hate on me for it. So, I'll be able to run that table there, but you guys were able to get some momentum right there before the tournament, right? Because I think there was a stretch there in middle February or so where I think it was 2 or 3 losses in a row, kind of a couple of them at home, unsuspect at home. But overall, you guys were starting to hit the peak right there at the right time there towards that Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I told anybody that was willing to listen to me is, man, the Big Ten was so good this year. And normally, man, we so tough at home, and we had a slew of teams that were able to come in and get us this year. But if you go look at those teams, boy, they were some of the best teams in the
Mhm.
country. And it's probably a blessing in disguise. Nobody wants to lose at home. Um, Definitely got Coach Painter charged up, but I think that's why he's one of the best coaches in the game. I think he did a phenomenal job down the stretch, getting our guys to ramp up their concentration, ramp up their effort, especially on the defensive end. Um, not only going into the tournament, but into the Big Ten tournament, because that's where we really had to find our rhythm and kind of get ourselves going. So, that was a tremendous platform for us to be able to go into the NCAA tournament with.
Yeah, I like to call them milestone games where you kind of see what your team is, where your team is at and how they overcome adversity. Some of those milestone games for me, and I'm curious which one you think for you, personally, with being part of the program. I thought the win at Nebraska, I thought coming over that adversity, I thought that was a key moment there to kind of see what this team is and how it is. Because on the road, I think I heard Coach P say, you found out who you are with these Big Ten road games.
And we did a pretty solid job on the road, in this
Yeah.
conference. It was the home games that kind of got us. But again, man, those teams that we lost to were like really good. Um, in no way, fashion, or form did we hang our heads after those losses. Like, we knew those teams coming in were really good, and we were able to take something from those games. So we got into the tournament, and just being able to go against the likes of the Michigans and Michigan States, Illinois, Iowa State, man, all those teams were formidable opponents, and we took something from those losses, and it definitely helped us in the tournament.
Yeah. Obviously your senior class, and we're trying to get John. I don't know what the heck's going on with John right now. Uh no, it's typical. That senior class, most decorated, most wins for a senior class, obviously most tournament games. Kind of talk about those, you can say the big three, Fletcher, Braden, and TKR, Trey out there, and kind of what they meant to you. Especially you work with the bigs, so the process you saw from a freshman level with Trey all the way through his senior year.
All those guys were so different. Obviously, Trey came in a year before,
Mhm.
redshirted, and then he joined those guys when they came in as true freshmen. Trey's story is so phenomenal because um, he really had to wait his turn, and it's an important lesson for young people, because sometimes when you don't play right away, you question yourself, did I make the right decision? Am I good enough? And never did that kid waver. He continued to get better. He didn't complain, didn't hang his head, he didn't blame anybody. And then when it was his time, he stepped in into that role like a true champion, and just put us on our back. And that was at a time where we're losing a guy that was a 2-time National Player of the Year. So there's a lot of doubt in the air because, we were on Zach Edey's back, and for Trey to kind of be able to take over that role was tremendous for us. In Braden and Fletch, we get two guys that come in right off the bat and are ready to go from day one. You're talking about two guys that showed up every day, loved the game of basketball, put a lot of time into it, and then involved in the great leaders. So the impact that they made on their program, obviously all the wins, Big Ten championships, tournament championships, a trip to the Final Four, probably the greatest thing that they left behind. And now these young guys, for them to be a part of that and experience those guys every day and be able to take the baton and run from it is probably the greatest thing that those three guys have left behind for our program.
Nice. Absolutely. That's, great accolades for them. Obviously, the wins, Braden with the assist record, and just seeing the growth and development of them. I felt like I'm on the social media, so I see it, but I felt like there was a lot of unwarranted, hate at times towards Fletch, a lot more towards Fletch than anybody, which I don't think there was any true reason for it. I mean, the guy, he played well. He shot great from the free throw line to 3-point line. He was a hard worker, and all of them were, and it was a great run. Because here's my thing: I don't know how often we're going to see runs, Brandon, of these 3 to 4 year groups stay together anymore, right? I mean, is that a concern that we're seeing now? Obviously, with the way things are with NIL, and I mean, we got 2,000 people in the transfer portal possibly this past week. I mean,
it's the evolution of college basketball. Can't say if it's better, can't say if it's worse. Obviously, it works for some programs. We know what works for us. There's a lot of talk about because one team did it, that everybody else should do it, and that's simply not the case.
Yeah.
We're big believers in a strong culture. But it's hard to have a strong culture when guys are not sticking around, and as I mentioned beforehand, just being able to keep those guys for the entirety of their career was huge for our program. So, and as far as like the hate that, those guys take, man, it's the evolution of society. It's the one thing,
right.
like social media is such a great tool. You can get on and learn things. You can be connected to people. But one of the negatives is, you're going to get everybody's opinion. And and I think those kids understand it comes with the territory. I take it as if they're not saying anything bad about you, you're not doing anything worth a damn. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, like here, we got Scott K. Nichols that says, "Tell B he looks like a mature model with the beard." Comments like that, right? That's our sponsor saying that, so I had to say it. John, welcome back with the audio.
Hey man, blame Brandon.
Brandon,
I'm sorry, man. You got to blame the East Side Wireless. You know what I'm saying?
Living way out.
We was going good. We was going good. We probably popped in another satellite we probably wasn't supposed to tap into over here when we brought you in, man. So I do apologize, man. But man, 13 years in, did they have to build another wing to the trophy case? Since y'all won the Big Ten tournament?
No. Yeah, it was. I mean, I was so happy for those kids. You talking to somebody that was able to win some conference championships as a player, and then you get older. And I can honestly say the best thing is when you can pour into younger people and watch them have success and watch them do it. So that's. Well,
I got another question. I got a follow up to that, man, because one of your youngers, Lawyer. So like when you become part of the media, Brandon, both Brandons, Brandon Brief will tell you as well, man. Saying you kind of get to hear a lot of the talking that goes on between the players. And Lawyer came out. I can say it now. Lawyer came out of the Alabama game. He was feeling real good. I'm not going to quote him. I'm not going to quote what he was saying, but he was feeling real good out, coming through the tunnel, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna quote him. You know what I'm saying? It's out there. It's out there. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, man, I totally feel what you're saying. I do, because you know what, Brandon? Because like we have to dodge. You know what I'm saying? So many like people, fandom, like Brandon said, fandom come ask, man, they were losing their mind over the exhibition game at Kentucky versus Kentucky. People,
Oh yeah, I was getting Big Blue Nation was coming after me.
Yeah,
for real, man.
You know, so much stuff going on in sports, and we just want to go somewhere with a tough environment, somebody with a great program, and just kind of jumpstart our guys. And so, you know, we lose the game, and it's a big reason why I don't get on social media after the games, because the sky is falling, every coach is terrible.
Yeah,
Why'd
it was
recruit
a sky
I
falling.
also made an AI banner of exhibition champions banner versus Purdue to put they can hang up in their rafter, so that pissed them off too a little bit.
Hey man, not that I don't know a whole lot about Brandon Brantley, but I did do some digging, man. And they say that your practices, your big man practice, I wasn't taking that lightly, man. Me and Brandon, as y'all know, is a student of the game. He just gave y'all a whole bunch of game, you know what I'm saying, on various teams outside of Purdue, you know what I'm saying, before I kind of got back in. But like, nah, man, I did some digging, man. And so like, yeah, you are rest his soul, Pete Newell, rest his soul, John Thompson. This the big man torches right here. You gotta, if you a big man trying to get your big man on, drop step on, learn how to pay the 45. Like, this is where you going. You going to Purdue. Are you not? The torch has been passed, man. You gotta
We
accept.
we do a, you know, that's the great thing about college basketball. Sometimes you watch the NBA and you can watch one team and you'll see the whole league, because it kind of feels like everybody plays the same, but that's what makes college so unique, because it's such a different contrast of styles. And so for us, there was something Coach Painter wanted, you know, he's been doing for years. I'm gonna go find, you know, some size surrounded with elite skill, and you know, and they give us the best chance to be able to compete in this college basketball landscape. And so, you know, it was something he started even before I got there. So, man, I'm blessed that he brought me on. A lot of what I pass on is the stuff that I learned from my own father, from different coaches. Talked about social media beforehand. I get on there and I can watch other coaches at clinics speak about stuff, and I steal stuff. So,
Gotcha.
you know, anybody that asks me, I tell them I'm standing on shoulders, man.
Hey, this man over here across from me, you're in the middle of my screen. The other guy, JB, I had to get on his butt all season, man, make him a believer of Clough. I had to keep on him all season for the Clough.
Brandon, I'm not the only reason, like, we bringing somebody outside of the family. Like, you have to, like, man, I'm a fan of the Godfather movie. So is Big Brandon. Like, you bring somebody outside the family, man, like, you sign on to this dude, like, man, you responsible. Like, so, you know, but like, his club show improved. There's no more question marks with Big Australia. I call him Big Australia.
Do the right thing, NCAA.
You can't call him that. I call him Big Australia. But
give us that next year, NCAA. Come on.
You know, Clough came in like he was what we needed. It's, you know, it's tough. He comes in, you know, obviously, you know, he and Trey Kaufman had great years, their junior years, but they were used to occupying that space all by themselves. And now those two guys got to play together. And so, you know, they definitely had to grow into it. And then in the end, I think it came to fruition. You know, you saw like those two playing together in the Big Ten tournament. They were phenomenal at that win in Nebraska. Trey had 19 rebounds. Oscar had 15. I mean, we just had our way in the paint because of those two. But like early on, you know, it took some time, but you know, came together at the end. We fell a little bit short. But.
Our distinguished sponsor has a question,
a
serious question for Coach B. With the evolution of NIL dollars as a motivating factor, how does Purdue seem to keep the majority of its players that focus more on team than getting paid and leaving early every year?
We treat our guys well. I think in our recruiting spiel, Coach Painter always tells guys that he wants this to be one of the most incredible experiences of their lives. And so they come in and, you know, first and foremost, you got to love basketball. And loving basketball means that you love putting all the work and the time that goes into it. And so we find those guys that want to do that. But then bringing those guys in and said wrapping our arms around those guys and treating them well. And, you know, I think like we all really enjoy being around. It's such a long season. You know, I remember when I was a player and it just got to a point, I didn't want to, you know, after the season, I didn't want to see anybody, coaches, players, you know. But Coach does a fantastic job, you know, of that. And so, you know, there's some guys out there that, you know, they, you know, can't put a price tag on happiness. I think they're going to be some, you know, each and every year, they're going to be guys that jump into that portal and they find out hard lessons. You know, everything, you know, just can't be about money. And so, you know, I think we've done a great job of like finding Purdue guys. And when you find Purdue guys, they don't want to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of not going anywhere, B, you've been what with Purdue? How many years now? John said, I think I vouched for you for every job in America over the last 3 weeks. So, are you ever interested? Has that ever crossed your mind to go look at a head coaching position, or are you happy and you content with where you're doing at Purdue because you're doing great things?
You know, I came to Purdue, and this is home. I spent a lot of years at Purdue. You know, the first time I became acquainted with Purdue, I was a fifth grader. You know, my parents sent me to basketball camp there, and I didn't even love basketball at the time. I can remember just like walking around and just, you know, just looking at everything. And, you know, obviously I've grown, Purdue has grown, and then I was able to come back as a student athlete, spent 5 years at Purdue as a basketball player. And now here I am, you know, in my early 50s, finishing up my 13th season, you know, and, you know, when I first got the job, you know, the goal was to help Coach Paint get to the top of the mountains. So goal hadn't been accomplished yet, so I guess I'm not going anywhere.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Now I want to do a little glaze for you.
Oh,
what was that moment like when you got the call that you were going to be joining the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2026? That's an amazing accomplishment, my friend.
Oh man, you know, I was humble. I didn't, you know, I didn't even know, you know, anything about a basketball Hall of Fame in Indiana until a few years ago. I think it was the 25th anniversary of my All-Star team. And I was able to go to that ceremony. And I was like, dang, this is tremendous. You know, if you ever get a chance to go to one of those ceremonies, man, please do. Because you'll see like so many people in the room, from players, coaches, administrators, just so many people that have like poured into the game and made it what it is today. You know, when I got the call, I'm not big on personal accolades. You know, I just always wanted to be around the game, to be a part of a team. Kind of gave me a sense of purpose. But I was happy for my parents, for my family, you know, especially my mom and dad. My dad introduced me to the game, you know, taught me everything I knew. Mom made a lot of sacrifices, you know, so I was happy for them because, you know, whatever they did, man, it turned out okay. It turned out right. So right. I was happy for my parents.
Okay, John,
that's what's up. Brandon, before we let you kind of get out of here, man, I know Reef gonna ask you some football questions, man. He's gonna tease you. He's gonna tease you a little bit, man. But I know you've been around the Super Bowl. Have you ever been to a Super Bowl?
No, I don't have money like that, man. Them tickets too much.
He's humble, man. Did you just hear him?
Have you been around any other Super Bowl besides the one they had here in Indy? Super Bowl experience?
I have
okay.
not.
What do you remember best from the Super Bowl experience that they had here in Indy?
hanging out with me and you went to a day party.
I was gonna say you teed him up for something.
Oh man,
it was pretty good party, man. Yeah, it was a lot of networking.
But I just remember it was just the middle of the day. It was a Saturday. We're going to a party.
Man, it was the middle part of the day.
It was like Mardi Gras in Indianapolis, man. It was. I was like,
the weather was good too, wasn't it? The Super Bowl.
Weather was good for February.
Yes, oh man, it was tremendous, man, tremendous. So
I went to some tent party and I don't know how I got in there and when the heck I left. It was already daylight again. So that was interesting.
I just wish the Bears could have been a part of it.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Are you ready for the Hammond Bears?
We're gonna see. I think when is that decision coming out? Sometime is it next week?
Next week or two? Yeah.
I don't. That stretch. I think that stretch over there in Hammond. I mean, it's actually not too far from Soldier Field. It's in the vicinity. I get it, as a, especially if I live in Illinois, I don't want to, you don't want to see your NFL team go over to the next state. But, it'll be great for Indiana. It's going, you talking about that stretch of land. I think it's off of not too far off 90 West when you go into when you're leaving Indiana and going into Chicago over the tollway. But man, I can see them putting up hotels. I mean, just bringing big business to the two states. So I don't care where they play. I just want to see us have a consistent team.
You just want to see the Bears in the Super Bowl. That's
they looked good last year.
The Bears in the Super Bowl.
Hey, I met up with your one of your old former players during the Final Four here this past week. Got chatted up with him about 10 minutes. Ethan Morton. So got to I think he's Illinois State? Is it
Illinois State?
Yeah. And they were in the NIT. So got to chat with him and told him how I knew you. And then I said, well, yeah, I'm a Steelers fan as well. And I said, well, yeah. So Brantley told me you were one of the craziest Steeler fans out there. So he didn't deny that one bit. So
he's Pittsburgh down to the socks now. He will wear a Steeler jersey. We had practice like on Sundays. Wow. He was guaranteed to show up with that Steelers jersey on.
I love
Great kid, man. He's gonna be a good coach one day. Guarantee it.
Two things I have, and then I'll let John kind of finish up. One, by the way, I love with Coach Painter, man, when you ask him a question or so, just some coaches you get are a quick 5-6 second question answer. Coach thoroughly and thinks about the question, answers it though, and then kind of elaborates on it more, which you get these great sound bites. And the last one I think I saw that he ended up having go viral was his talking about the scheduling with the mid majors and things like that. So I want to ask you, B, because the NCAA is exploring this. Answer it as much as you want and as how you want, if you want. I'll leave it at that. You've seen it from all sides with the eligibility rules and stuff, between 5 full years to people from Europe coming over and playing here that are a little bit older or quoted as a professional there. What is the best way you can answer it, if you can? What's your thoughts on that, and what do you think the NCAA should look towards going towards?
I haven't, coach sits on committee, so obviously, man, he gets a chance to hear people from the world of academia, administrators, people from all walks that they bring into those rooms to try to make our sport better. You need some rules moving forward, because right now it's the wild, wild west. It's just think about the NBA, and there are no rules, and some guy just says, man, you know what? I'm gonna ask for $92 million for next season. And you're like, what? So we definitely got to have a cap to bring some sanity. Guys are there's so much movement. Guys are just you just leaving, going from school to school. And the thing about it is 99% of these guys will not play in the NBA. So you don't want to lose sight of like what are we doing this thing for? Obviously, the money is a big thing. You know, it's now you can get off to a great start in life with some real money. You know, and I graduated, man, I had $158 in the bank. You know, I was like,
You
I
had
gotta
that
get to
Chris
work.
Paul bank account. Yeah, you had $158. I feel you.
I gotta get to work fast. And now, man, these guys got a little bit of cushion. And so you get guys that come from all different walks of life. You got guys that, you know, because of the money now, they're able to help their families. You got some guys that may not need the money, but they can invest it. You know, maybe they can buy a house, start a business. You know, they deserve that. But we got to bring some sanity to the game. You know, they're gonna be some guys. You know, when they're done, now you gotta be a part of the real world. And
Yes.
I mean, now I've been, you know, 3, 4, 5 different schools, and I was never serious about acquiring my degree. Like, what's the next step? And I think, you know, it's our job
Right.
as
Right.
coaches, administrators, college presidents, to protect the kids. You know, and I think that's the one thing Coach Painter is a true champion. Like, really wants to, like, you know, do right. You know, sometimes people don't want to hear that. They, you know, you hating on the kids. No, not hating on the kids at all. We want to make sure, because, you know, what kids got to realize is you're going to spend way more time on this planet as a non-athlete than as you will as an athlete. You know, and so some of the naysayers are, oh, these kids are going to do great. They're going to do great things with the money, and they're going to do this. Not saying that at all. But they're gonna be some that are not, and we got to look out for all the kids.
Yeah. You know, somebody said it. I was listening to a podcast my way downtown the other day. You know, you got some of these athletes. These kids are making 250, 300, 400,000, even $500,000. They don't go pro after it's over for them. If they don't go play college, you know, European basketball or whatnot, they're going to have to get a normal job, and you know, you're going to have to fall back on an average $70,000 salary, maybe a little less at some places or whatnot. And how are you going to adapt from going from a 400,000 or whatever to a 75,000? You know, it's a big change for these kids.
Invest in yourself.
Boy,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's unforgiving, man. You know, I look back and you know, some of the older guys are like, man, we came through at the wrong time, but I wouldn't change a thing, man. You know, my journey, you know, made me, you know, who I was, and now here I am. I'm 52. I appreciate, you know, everything I had to go through to get to where I am now. So,
could you imagine Coach Katie for 200,000? His reaction would be, son, the door's right there.
Man,
John,
I mean, it was such a different world. Like, man, those kids, man, they can't fathom like how it was back then. But you know, we didn't know any better. But you know, I didn't look. That's what I wanted. I enjoyed it, man. You know, the hard practices, the preseason conditioning. You know, I remember my freshman year, we had like one travel suit, and we had to turn it back in after the season. I'm like, damn, I can't keep I can't keep my sweatsuit. You know, we played in the same model of shoes. You know, you tear it up. You know, take it down to the equipment room. Just got to trade it in. You got to get another pair. And you know, man, I mean, like, man, Braden Smith, man, has probably played in 250 different pairs of shoes in his career.
man. And now they're going to look at what John, this is where old man John is, extending the tournament possibly to that 72 or 76 teams possibly next year.
Don't make me get an eye
Is that
roll.
too much,
Don't
B?
make me
Do
start
you
eye
think we can
rolling.
keep it where you're at now, or
You got the best product in sports. Like, why touch it? Why touch it? You know, it's I mean, every year, man, you know, it's always like one magical moment. You know, Braden Mullins hits that shot, and I mean, that was fantastic, man. So, and I thought I liked the championship game. I thought, you know, you had two really good coaches, two different teams. It was a game of chess. Not every game is going to be exciting, and not every game is for the casual fan. I think if you're really a true fan of college basketball, you appreciated that matchup on Championship Monday. So, man, the tournament was as good as advertised this year, like it is most years.
Yep, absolutely. Perfect. Anything else, John, on your end?
Hey man, it's always a pleasure. Like I said, you know what I'm saying, whether we just chopping up about life or chopping about basketball, man. And you know, Kelly got the caramel cake ready for you next time you hit, you know what I'm saying, Midtown East Side. She got you covered. She bake one once a week, just in case you be in the area. You know what I'm saying, Jonathan, let Brandon know. I got you covered. I started a new brownie recipe. I don't know if you like brownies. You know what I'm saying? But I got a new brownie recipe, man. Deliciousness, man. You know we got you covered. Brandon Brantley likes cakes and the pies and all the things. That's why we also connected on that part, man. So anytime you come back home, Indianapolis, Indianapolis, you know what I'm saying, we got you covered.
Indianapolis, that's my second home, man. I lived down there for 13 years, man. So it's, you know, I claim always, people say, where are you from? I say East Chicago and Gary, because I literally spent time between both days growing up. And then when I was done playing overseas, you know, I was blessed. You know, I always wanted to live in Indianapolis. You know, I loved coming down as a boy. We would come down to Circle City Classic and everything. And then all of a sudden I got a chance to live in the city. And, man, I met so many great people. And so, you know, even, you know, living here in Lafayette, we're on the far south side, but, you know, we chose that location because we can, you know, I can get to the west side of Indianapolis in 45 minutes. So anytime we get time off, man, we, you know, be able to come down and see friends is a blessing. But I got a message for you and everybody on the east side, man. I don't know if you knew this, but I haven't lost a spade game. I haven't lost a spade game in about 25 years, man. I'm just looking for some competition.
Love it. Oh, the challenge has been made. Challenge has been made. B, one thing we need to do this summer is I'm going to get Jonathan Birdsong because he does ride-alongs now with Reggie Sykes, and which is crazy. But I'm going to take Jonathan. He's been to Purdue, but he ain't been in Mackey. He hasn't seen the thing. So we got to this summer. The three of us got to kind of do a little.
What's the ride along? Y'all in the car listening to music?
I haven't seen a game in Mackey.
They're doing a show.
No, I haven't
in the car.
Mackey, no.
You haven't been to a game in Mackey?
Yeah, man. You know, this media thing then expanded, Brandon. Like, it's expanded, Brandon. You know,
I
go here, I go there. You know what I'm saying?
I thought
he's been to football. We ran into him.
Man, I thought I could have sworn I saw you at a game one time.
He ain't been to basketball. He's been to
football. For sure. Football game for sure.
Because we ran into you and Coach Paint out there on the side of Mackey.
I remember that.
But yeah, we gotta get him in. We gotta get him in.
Oh, man, what? Oh yeah.
He hasn't seen the court. He has to kiss the court, man.
Coach Paint like sweet potato pie, rum cake. We got that. We're bringing him up. We're bringing him up.
Bring him a Steelers shirt too.
I still got that robe for you, Reef.
Damn, that's true. You do. Okay, listen. We're gonna plan this once you get off your sabbatical here this spring and early summer. Me and JB will come up there during a summer day, and we'll check it out. We'll hang out with you, get some food or something.
Yeah, okay, we'll do it.
All right, perfect. Well, Coach B, thank you again, man. I know your time is precious right now, but we want to thank you for joining. We'll get you on closer to the basketball season. We'll kind of talk early thoughts for what the season's going to look like and all that. But man, always a blessing to have you on, and we appreciate what you do. And you know, with this Purdue squad, it's really awesome to see, man.
Man, appreciate you guys. You know, anytime you need me, I'm available.
Perfect. All right, B. Take care, buddy.
Thanks, Brandon.
See y'all.
All right, that's our guy, Coach Brandon Brantley. JB, we got to get you up there, man. You ever bring Painter some food?
I ain't been up in West Lafayette in a while, man. My hair was blonde back then.
You ain't been in Mackey either.
Tips was, but I've been in Mackey, Brandon. I haven't been in a game at Mackey. I've been there.
Yeah.
So you saying I ain't been in Mackey until you never experienced Mackey until you've seen a game?
You haven't.
What you're trying to say.
Exactly.
All
right.
Thank you.
Couple things I got for you. And that was awesome to have him.
That was.
Tyrese Halliburton played 5-on-5, so he is
pretty good.
Getting himself back in shape. Pacers are playing right
good.
now.
I like it.
the Nets, if we lose, we lock in a top 4, one of the best odds for the draft, and we're up.
I'm
And we
okay
have
with
7
that.
people. We have 8 people out, and we're up 55-26 on the Nets. So we can't clinch tonight.
That's how bad the Nets are. They don't want to, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to see my notes on it. I wrote it in crayon. What the Nets, Igor Dunn, or whatever his name is, I wrote it in crayon, the scouting report on the Nets, man. No, that's a bad organization and team. But the Pacers need to lose this game so they can increase their odds. So that's my opinion on it. And I don't like losing.
Lakers injuries. First, it was Luka going to be out through the rest of the regular season. Austin Reeves now going to be out as well. Luke Kennard's been in and out with injuries. The Lakers, man, I told Isaiah on that Saturday night show over there for the Game Time Network, I think it's a first-round loss.
Yeah, and coach getting a little frustrated. Brotherhood, JJ Redick's getting a little frustrated, kind of calling out some of the role players. I think Bando got called out. I think everybody got called out except for Bronny. To be honest with you, man. I don't know if it's a LeBron James special magic trick that he can get this team to a win in the playoffs, but like at this point, like I don't know, man. That's a lot.
I see how you said it. You said a win,
king,
not
man. So that's kind of access the Lakers.
Okay.
You said what now?
I said you said a win, not a series win. So I see what you did there. I see what you did. You want to talk a little bit about Game Time? Game Time Network on Saturday night we went to?
Man, I don't know what happened to it. We took a picture with all the crew.
I ain't seen it.
And I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to it.
Deep State.
You seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I know it was
Monster
taken.
Or something, man. I don't know. But like, nah, there's no chicanery going on with this photo, man. But like, man, we took a lot of pictures with the homies in support, man. D-Cot was out there playing like an MC. Hoffman was out there running around like, you know what I'm saying, like a director, executive madman. And Reggie Sykes and Coach Stalin was over there arguing about, you know what I'm saying, the game. So we was just there for,
was a little kumbaya there. Support. You guys had a little kumbaya.
With who? We had a little kumbaya.
Coach.
You know what I'm saying? Difference of opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When we do another super duper podcast, it'll be even
I don't even remember what. Well, I was that too, but I forget what we were talking about. Somebody.
Yeah. But no, man, great experience hanging out with those dudes. And man, the name escapes me. Where were we at? Bigsby's. Bigsby's. Brandon Leaf loves the pool tables there. He didn't play no pool, but he loves the pool tables there.
Yeah, you can say that. Masters this week, got the hat on, started today. Defending champion Rory McIlroy is tied for the lead as we speak, 5 under. What?
Why can't that just be the story, Brandon, that people just kind of, you know what I'm saying, gravitate to and not be saying, where's Tiger Woods at? Or why can't that just be whatever up-and-coming golf? There's a lot of up-and-coming golfers in this field, and I get it, they've never kind of even...
Nope, I think it is. Nobody said a word about Tiger.
Yeah. Man, I've heard some other... Well, you know, one, ESPN tries to make everything the NBA when it comes to drama.
They got... Well, she's
so
on
that might be... Anymore. That might... Even ESPN radio, that might be a mistake on me, but...
Yeah, but yeah, I hear you.
You said Rory's he's in the league right now?
Rory is tied for the lead right now, end of round 1. So Bryson DeChambeau had a horrible round. He's 4 over. Not good round for him. Sam Burns is the other guy tied at 5 under. So second round tomorrow. It's going to be hotter. Temperature's going to rise the rest of the time, so the course is going to get harder, more firm. Don't be surprised. You can clip this part. Don't be surprised if the winning score is a single digit this year. I think the winning score could be a -9 or less.
Really?
So
okay. Predicting Brandon. Trust him.
Thought anything real quick on the WNBA kind of getting their stuff together, and we're kind of rolling through free agency as we speak.
Man, WNBA got a lot of support, man. I know, you know what I'm saying, outside of, you know what I'm saying, them kind of getting their deal done, Angel Reese got traded, you know what I'm saying, from Chicago Skyforce down to Atlanta. So there's gonna be another new face in that another that place, man. So
shout out Jackie Young.
They got the Fever unveiled a new facility, like $78 million. Yeah, man. So like, man, all their things kind of going positive for women's basketball here in America, man.
You appreciate this,
I'm sure there'll be another collective bargaining agreement down the road, 7 years down the road, man. But like at least this one, man, this.
Oh, did we lose him? I think. I think we may have lost. Oh, there he is. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I think you'll appreciate this, John. Good trivia question. First $1 million player in the WNBA just signed. Jackie Young, $1.19 million deal.
Okay. That means Caitlin Clark gonna get AJ Batons to be something crazy.
Something crazy. Anything else, John, before we go tonight?
Nah, man, great show. You know what I'm saying? We had a great show talking it up with Coach from Purdue, man. I expect them to get to another Sweet. I didn't want to say this in front of him, but I expect them to get to another Sweet 16 at least next year. By next year, I don't know. It's a hard ask to be going to the Final Four with you know what I'm saying, with the reload team, new paint. But I expect them to get to a Sweet 16, man. It was great chopping. Like I said, it's great chopping up with him. You want to know about winning basketball? Follow the Purdue basketball program. It might not be what you like, but it's definitely what you. Like I said, if you're about winning, follow that.
Wasn't there a saying?
Outside of that,
it's
man,
the best thing out there. Isn't that what the Four Horsemen was?
Outside of that, man, keep on tapping in with us on all our socials, man. Whether it's Threads, Twitter, still before I get banned.
Can you tweet?
You know what I'm saying? Instagram and Facebook, man. That's kind of where you can kind of get all the information about, you know what I'm saying, win the show or whatnot. I don't know what's going on with Twitter, man. Like I did, but like, man, it's okay. I'm supposed to be off Twitter anyway, man. But like, no, man. Follow us on social media, man. You know what I'm saying, for all the stories. Sports don't stop, and like I said, you know what I'm saying, we don't either, man. So
perfect.
There you go.
We'll see you guys possibly next week. I've got some oral surgery I have to get done, but we'll find a date. We'll get it done. Have a great weekend. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show. You can find more episodes on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Crossroads sports content.